Here we have a cyanotype print, known for its unique Prussian blue color, and although invented over nearly 200 years ago, still enjoyed by many photographers today. But you can take it way further than just printing leaves and flowers. With a few simple tools and techniques, you are able to elevate your print to a true piece of art. So let's get into creative cyanotype techniques. I've made a detailed explanation video for each of these processes, so if you want to learn more about them, just take a look in the info card. I start by priming a few sheets of watercolor paper with cyanotype emulsion. I'm not using pre-coated paper here, but feel free to do so. It should work fine for most of the techniques I'm going to show in this video. Let's get going with the first technique, Cyanotype Shadowgram. A technique that's as simple as powerful, because with cyanotype printing you can not only capture the outline of flat leaves or negatives, but also the shadow or refraction of three-dimensional objects. To do that, all you need is an object that creates an interesting shadow and a very harsh UV light source. I'm going to use my self-built enlarger here, but you can also use the sun on a cloudless day for similar results. The only thing left to do is to place the subject and the light. If you want a shadowgram closely resembling the shape of your object, make sure the light is angled straight at your object. If you're going for a more distorted creative effect, make sure your light is positioned at a slight angle towards your subject. After exposing and developing, you will be left with some incredibly unique prints, maybe looking a bit like these. But let's continue with the next technique, toning cyanotype prints. As the name suggests, this technique is about changing the color of your cyanotype print, giving you quite a few more options than the Prussian blue color typically associated with cyanotypes. You want to start with a fully developed cyanotype print, so either wait 24 hours after development or develop the print in the mild solution of hydrogen peroxide. Next step is to bleach your print. To do that, just put it in a mild solution of washing soda. I've made my solution by using 3 teaspoons of soda per 1 liter of water. After 3 to 5 minutes, you then put your print into a bath of some tannin-containing fluid, like tea or coffee. After having the print submerged for around about an hour, the only thing left to do is to rinse the print in some tap water. Depending on if you use tea or coffee, the blue will be gone, replaced by some sort of brown or reddish color. Play around with the amount of bleaching and toning to get different results. Moving on to the next technique, using masks in cyanotype printing. This technique fixes a big problem in cyanotype printing. If you have ever tried to combine several objects or negatives into a single print, you may have found that everything just blends together. This is where masks come in. These allow you to composite 2 or more image layers into a single print. To keep this explanation as simple as possible, I'm going to composite just 2 layers into one print. I begin by placing the background elements. Before exposing the background though, I'm adding masks in the places where later I want to have my foreground elements. Having everything placed in that fashion, it is time for the first exposure. After that, I'm placing the foreground elements in the places where I had my masks before. I'm going to cover everything else with paper. And that's it. After exposing and developing the print, here we have our final result. As you can see, different layers are recognizably separated. Before we get into technique number 4 though, if you enjoyed this video so far, maybe consider liking or subscribing. Speaking of technique number 4, let's get going with using gold leaf on cyanotype prints. This technique is exactly what it says. By combining your cyanotype print with gold leaf, you are able to create something truly astonishing. Start with a fully developed print. Next step is to paint on some special kind of glue in the areas where you later want to have gold leaf. Follow the instructions on the packaging of your glue for the best results. In my case, I have to wait until it is completely dry before applying the gold. I'm using faux gold leaf here, and in hindsight, this was the right call, because it is a great way to practice before getting into the expensive real stuff. However, after a bit of fiddling around, here's the result of this technique. Now, you might wonder how I achieve the red base cyanotype print. Well, that's our fifth and final technique, combining China ink and cyanotype printing. This technique is truly great at creating a large variety of different colored prints. And on top of that, it is quite easy. All you have to do is to cover your watercolor paper with a layer of China ink. After letting the ink dry, you then apply the cyanotype emulsion afterwards. You will realize that the emulsion won't stick as well to the paper as it does without the ink, so it will take quite a bit longer to dry. However, when it is completely dry, you can expose it like a standard cyanotype print. Be a bit careful when developing though, as there is a risk of washing away even the exposed parts of the print. And that's it. These are my top 5 creative cyanotype techniques. Let me know in the comments which of these you liked most. As I said before, I put a more detailed video about every one of these in the info card. Other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this video and maybe found something interesting or inspiring. Now, if you want to learn even more about cyanotype printing, make sure you watch the playlist on the bottom. Until then, see you next week.